what do you think is the biggest misconception when you move from a AAA big projects, because people don't know you've worked on Fallout and Skyrim and all those huge games, and doing your own project? What's like the biggest misconception?
I think one misconception is that people might think it might just market itself and stuff, and people are like, oh, you can just do a great game, it'll be fine, you worked on Skyrim. I don't think that's true at all, and that's why I started talking about it so early. It's like, I think that helps, don't get me wrong, but I don't think that would be enough. I'm not gonna just like stealth drop this thing and be like, it'll be great. My name is Nate Purkeypile, founder, I suppose, of Just Purkey Games.
So Nate, we're here at GDC, and people are playing your game for the first time in a public-ass setting. How does it feel?
It's exciting. I mean, I've had friends play it every like week or so, but this is the first time like tons of people can play it. So it's fascinating watching all the different ways people play, and it's great.
How's the reception been here?
I mean, it seems like it's gone really well. People seem really excited to play it and make lots of loud noises when werewolves bite them in the face. So
I feel like you have so many years of dedication to this. It's got to be awesome to have people, play your game in a real setting for the first time, not just friends and family. And like you said, seeing the different way they play and seeing your mechanics, you're probably taking mental notes as well.
Oh, for sure. Every time anybody plays, it's like end up with like this laundry list of notes and ideas. Obviously I don't want to put everything in, but there's always ways to like refine it and make it better. And I think that's the way to make a good game, is like iterate on that. You don't just like make it and then you're done.
It's been a hot minute since we spoke to you. What is this the same build we looked at like about 6 months ago, or have you changed it since then? Like what are we seeing today?
I've changed a lot and added more mechanics. There's like a whole weather system now. It'll rain and things get wet. There's a whole spirit arrow that you can use now to sort of scout ahead. When you fire the arrow, it's like your eyes are in that arrow. So you can either like look ahead in the forest or just like shoot it up in the air and like get your bearings. And there's a whole magic system that's not even in this demo.
Oh no, see, you're going down that rabbit hole of how can I make, oh my god, I can do all these systems. Like you're going down that rabbit hole. What's that mean like now that you've got like the foundation, a solid foundation, now you get to have like the real fun with it, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's how I wanted to approach it. It's like I wanted to get that whole open world in and play it and be like, what's missing? What do I need to make it really work? Especially because it's not a short game. Frankly, it took me like 20 hours to beat last time I did the whole thing, and that was not doing side stuff. I was like, I'm just gonna like beeline it to the important places. Yeah, there's a photo mode.
Oh wow,
so
you're just
put in a photo mode, and I also put in a pacifist mode. So in pacifist mode, instead of killing the creatures to unlock stuff, you instead take pictures of them, and it'll unlock the statue and journal entries.
Next time I see it, it'll be like, oh, we have a capture mode where you take a ball and you throw them and you get to put them in your pocket.
I mean, I think it's like an important thing to put in, right? Because it wasn't that much work. It was like a day's worth of work. And if people then take all these cool pictures and post them, it's definitely worth the time.
We talked a little bit, but as like basically an almost entirely solo project, like is it hard to put, as you start to get that foundation laid, add fun mechanics, and really start to mess around with the innards of your game and designs and systems, is it hard to put those deadlines on yourself?
I mean, so far it's gone surprisingly well, like production-wise. I end up beating my estimates on how long I think things are going to take, because Unreal has been like so nice to work with that I just integrate those things. And honestly, like most of my like extra buffers and time have been like, oh, my kids got sick, I got to take time off to watch my kids, not actual like production problems, which is nice.
You've been working on this game for so long. Is it nice to finally kind of do your own thing at your own pace instead of having to do with deadlines and milestones and producers on your big AAA stuff like Fallout?
Yeah, for sure. And it's nice to actually be able to take a vacation, right? And since it's a solo game, when I come back, it's like, guess what changed on the game? Nothing. Versus before, I'd come back and sometimes I would have literally 1,000 emails and you're like, oh, I just made an extra week of work on myself. I have to catch up. And that's a lot more relaxing that way.
From an outsider looking in, what do you think is the biggest misconception when you move from a AAA big projects, because people don't know you've worked on Fallout and Skyrim and all those huge games, and doing your own project? What's like the biggest misconception from your point of view you think someone might looking at you have?
I think one misconception is that people might think it might just market itself and stuff, and people are like, oh, you can just do a great game, it'll be fine, you worked on Skyrim. I don't think that's true at all, and that's why I started talking about it so early. It's like, I think that helps, don't get me wrong, but I don't think that would be enough. I'm not going to just like stealth drop this thing and be like, it'll be great.
So any release date yet? Any early access? Like what's going on with it? What's the future with this game look like?
So it's definitely this year. I haven't announced the release date yet, but I am going to be like slowly growing my playtesting with like people from my Discord, and maybe even do like the open playtest thing on Steam and pull people in over time, and then eventually drop the demo, release the game.
How awesome is it that you can be like, the release is whenever I want it to be, instead of having to deal with this like plethora of bureaucracy?
It is nice, right? Because like when you're in AAA, when that's set, there's so many issues if you move it. Whereas I could be like, hey, guess what? I moved it to next week. It's approved.
Yeah.
We just had the meeting. The meeting's over.
Awesome. In the meantime, where can people find more information about the Axis Unseen? You said you had a Discord, a website.
Yeah, all that stuff is on the Steam page, so they can look it up, the Axis Unseen on Steam, and you can like follow me on Twitter, or X, I suppose, and Purkeypile.
I have to ask this because it's something I have to ask. So any plans for console deadline, Xbox, PlayStation?
To be determined at this point in time, but hopefully so.
Let's get the PC version locked down before we start porting, right?
Yeah, I would say that's the easy one, but you never know. PCs